Everybody says, I want this. I want to get in shape. I want to be rich. I want to be famous. I want to do this. I want that. Stop saying you want to. Start saying you will. Think about it. Every goal you had in the past where you said, I want to, did you achieve it? I don't think so. Every time I said I wanted to lose weight, it didn't happen. When I said that I will lose weight, I will be fit, I will be this, I will be that, then it happened. And you can even take it a step further. Even though the external factors have not caught up, go ahead and embody that goal, you know? If you want to be famous, walk around like you're famous. Go ahead and get used to it, because that's you. That's your new path. That's what you're doing. There's no I want to. We all want stuff, but the difference between the people who want things and the people that get them is exactly what I just said. The people who get them say they will do it. The people who want them, that's just that. They're always just gonna want them. And then they're gonna wonder, you know, they might want this thing really, really bad. And then they wonder why they never get it, because they never say they will. They never say that they will do that thing. So subconsciously, they're never gonna take the actions to get what they want. The person who wants something versus the person who's committed, here's the difference right here. So you have two runners, and it's time to go for a run, and it's raining outside. The person who wants to be a runner says, well, you know, it's raining, I should probably stay inside. The person who says they will be a runner says, where's my umbrella? Let's get some water shoes going. We running today. Simple as that. Stop saying you want stuff. Start saying you will get it. You will have it. Take it a step further. In your brain, tell yourself that you already have it. And then do the actions behind it and just let everything else follow. Here's another insightful story. Over my weight loss journey of about 700 days, excuse my bedhead, of about 700 days, I've maybe taken like 12 to 15 rest days. Now, I'm sure there's some scientist out there that's going to comment on this video like, Dylan, don't you know that rest days are very, very important for rest and recovery? Studies show that if you were to take a rest day on your journey, you would be probably here. And I agree. You know, rest days are important. There's definitely a lot of days where objectively a rest day was probably better. However, every time I stopped going to the gym in the past, it started with, guess what? A rest day. Rest day turned into a rest week, a rest month, all the way into a rest year. So now every time I even have a thought of having a rest day, it is thought about extremely hard. You know, if I wake up and the muscle group that I am going to train for that day is not sore, where's my pre-workout? I'm going to the gym, you know? And even if said muscle group is a little sore, I can be like, okay, but my triceps are good. Where's my pre-workout? Let's go. Now, would I be maybe a little further along, maybe a little more fit if I were to have taken some more rest days? Sure, I could agree with that. However, at what cost? Say I did a rest, say on my journey, I established one rest day a week. You know, I know myself. I knew that one rest day a week might turn into another rest week, rest month, rest year. So yeah, I agree, rest days are important, but I choose to take mine very carefully. Because every time I stopped lifting in the past. It started with a rest day. The rest day kind of automatically got associated with my old self, and I am no longer my old self. I have never, even when I do take a rest day, I have never taken 2 rest days in a row. Even if I don't have access to a gym, where some people would say that their rest day was forced because they didn't have access to equipment. No. If I didn't have access to a gym, we're doing push-ups. I'm finding a tree branch. We're doing pull-ups. For legs, I can do some pistol squats, regular squats. We can find some way to get some sort of muscle hypertrophy action going. We can find some way to get active. Because, the external factors don't matter. There's people out there doing handstand push-ups, no equipment, doing pull-ups on a tree branch like they're Tarzan, and they got a better physique than maybe me or you do. And then, you know what? Ask them how many rest days they take. Probably very few. Long story short, I just simply don't identify with somebody who is so quick to take a rest day, kind of like Sam's mentality. He doesn't plan his rest days. He does take them, however, as needed. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that next Sunday is gonna be a rest day. Next Sunday is a week away. How do you know what you're gonna feel like? If you got a crystal ball, dude, let us know. We want that. I want to know what I'm gonna feel like on Sunday, or in a year from now. But long story short, I don't think anybody has a crystal ball. Just take your days one at a time and see what happens. Don't focus on the next one. Be like, all right, what can we do with this day, this moment in time, to improve tomorrow? And then when you eventually get to your improved tomorrow, improve it more. Keep building, And another thing is every time I think about where I want to be in life, rest days never pop into my head. When I think about the physique I want, the person I want to be, the things I want to achieve, sitting on the couch watching Netflix that's not the thought that pops into my head. And if it's a thought that pops into your head, I want to ask you what you're pursuing. Because unless it's professional TV watching, I don't think sitting on the couch is gonna get you what you want, Another lesson I learned on my weight loss journey is your body does not control your mind. Your mind controls your body. If you know who Tony Robbins is, I don't care if you like him or not, or even if you've heard of him, but my dad watched one of his YouTube videos. I think he was on a podcast, and he said every morning he wakes up with a cold plunge, an ice bath. Now, if you've done one of those, you know it sucks. It's cold. It's cold. Your body's literally going into shock, like, what are we doing? He says that he does not do the ice bath because he likes it. He does it because it reminds him that his mind is in control of his body. His body is not in control of his mind. When he gets in that tub, his body is freaking out. It's like, dude, we're cold. Get out of this tub. But his mind is the one that makes that final decision. His mind is the one that says, no, we're staying in this ice bath for a full 60 seconds. Or whatever allotted time that he said. I don't remember. But apply that to everything. When you're tired and you're like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like going on my run. I don't feel like doing this, doing that. But you know that you should. Let your brain has the ability to make the final decision. Do not let your body control your mind. Do not let your body say, "Oh, we're tired, the weights are heavy." No, let your mind make the final decision. Let your mind say, "Nah, where's my socks and shoes? Where's my shaker bottle? Let's go. Let's go pick up some heavy objects. Come on, body, I don't care how tired you are. Get up, let's go." And then boom, before you know it, that could be the day where you hit a PR. And don't, when you have a bad day, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't say I have good days and bad days. I just have good days and better days. However, speaking on that, not every day I wake up feeling like the most equipped to go to the gym, the most prepared. Some days I'll wake up, maybe it was a holiday yesterday and perhaps I went crazy on some bad foods or whatever. And I wake up the next morning groggy, tired, bloated, feeling like crap. In that mindset, do I feel like going to the gym? Does my body feel like going to lift some heavy weight? No, it doesn't. But my mind does not care what my body thinks. Yeah, my body's tired, but so what? Come on, let's go. We going to the gym because that's who we are. Dylan Ford doesn't just skip the gym because he's not feeling it today. That's not what I do. And I encourage you guys to do the same. Every time you skip something that you know is beneficial for you, even when you're grocery shopping, use the same concept. Do not let your body walk down that Little Debbie aisle and load up on powdered sugar donuts, honey buns, and Christmas tree cakes. Your mind gets to make the final decision. Have your mind tell your body to walk to the produce section, grab some bananas, strawberries, apples. Have your mind walk over to the butcher and pick up some lean ground beef and 10 pounds of chicken breasts. And then once you get done with that, you'll realize that it actually feels good. It feels good to prevail over all the roadblocks that your body is giving you. Because I know myself. 2 years ago, I'd walk down the snack aisle like, dude, that looks good. That looks good. Ooh, let's throw these in the car. Let's get that. And then, I'd eat those foods, get a dopamine rush. But unbeknownst to me, you get the same feeling when you turn those things down. When you go through the process of change, you get the same dopamine response. And another benefit, since you have turned down all those unhealthy foods and you have not eaten them or consumed them, you feel so much better. So now you have the same dopamine response in your brain because you turned down the Little Debbie snacks. And since you did not consume them, you have now prevented yourself from ingesting all the manufactured shit that they put in there. Now, I'm not saying that I never eat treats, During the holidays, I crushed a pack of raw cookie dough. I'll still do it, but it's not like I finished that and I was like, dude, I gotta go get some more cookie dough. This is my new favorite snack. I was like, wow, I just ate 8 pieces of cookie dough. That was good. But now I feel like shit. So let's get back to it, Once you change your habits to eating healthy and then you eat something unhealthy, in the moment I was like, yeah, this is some good cookie dough. But the next morning I was like, that's not good cookie dough. I do not feel like that was a very gains conducive snack. You know, I probably ate like way too much raw flour or whatever. I don't know. I got that dog in me. Raw cookie dough ain't gonna hurt me. I'm still here. I'm still making this video. But do not let your body control your mind. Because your mind controls your body. Just something to think about. I'll be back.